Welcome. Incoming message.
This is the May Contain Action podcast
on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and more.
3, 2, 1, 0. All systems active.
Welcome to season 2 of the May Contain Action podcast, the world's #1 gaming and content creation podcast. If no other podcasts were on the list, support for the May Contain Action podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below the belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. I am host number 1. I lied. Gotcha. I'm host number 2. This is Trevor. And my guest host number 1, Paul, is here. We have a lot of really cool announcements going on today. Hey, Craig. Craig's here. Hey, Craig.
Hey, Craig.
We have, and I forgot to put this in the forum, but we have our first piece of merch. It is holiday merch. It is an ornament that goes in your tree. I actually don't know if the link is in the chat, but I'm sure PM will take care of that right now. Thank you so much. But we have merch, and they are super cool. They're handmade. They're the logo. Yeah. It's cool. Just got a nice little piece of twine to throw up on your tree.
Oh, yeah. It's made from the finest woods.
Made of the finest mahogany, stained by hand. And there's only 100 made.
The dwarves of Minas Tirith.
Okay, man, for a minute. Come on, dude. Like, what? Don't disrespect Lord of the Rings in front of me. Thank you.
I said Minas Tirith, which is not a real place.
It's also not where the dwarves were in the fake place. So it's just you're just driving me crazy. Before we announce our awesome guest, because that is the point of this podcast, not Paul and I getting mad at each other for getting fake, fantasy world stuff wrong. I just want to remind you, if you don't follow this channel, do it right now. Hit the little heart at the top of the screen if you are on desktop, or a little heart somewhere on your screen if you are on some sort of phone or mobile device. We would greatly appreciate that. If you want to turn on notifications so you never miss an episode, that would be even better. But without further ado, let's get to our guests. Today we are joined by someone very special. As always, all of our guests are incredibly special and close to our heart. But many of you may know him as the voice of professional Fortnite. MonsterDface is here today.
Yo, what's up, man? The voice. Oh, snap. I'll take the title. I'll take the title. Put it on it. Yeah. I got it. I'll take the title.
Incredibly humble, too. MonsterDface is here.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me, man. Seriously, this is sick.
Glad, dude. Thank you to be a part of it. Yeah, thanks for saying yes. It's hard to get voices on here, but to get the voice of professional Fortnite, I think we made it. I think we can check that one off our career list.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen. It took a while to kind of plan this one out. I do apologize if I was a little tough to get a calendar date with, but shout out to your team for being super flexible. That's what matters.
Thank you, team.
Thank you. Thanks, team.
Thank you, TM. I mean,
woo, team.
The team and PM together. Team. We're a team. We have a team for this podcast because it's such a worldwide phenomenon.
Oh, yeah. 30, 40, 50 employees at a time. It's nuts. Yeah, we hire them and immediately fire them within 24 hours. But
no,
hey, listen. Operation costs, they get a little crazier. You got to fit them where you can.
Yeah. Liability.
Exactly. Yeah. Accounts payable. Absolutely.
Right.
I took a college class once. I know.
I know about business.
I know about business. I do things like that all the time. Monster. Like we talked about before we got in here, and as all of our listeners / viewers know, this show is about learning about you. It's about you. And
I would hope so. Like you kind of called me. Go ahead.
Imagine you just coming in. We're like, all right, thanks for sitting in here while we talk about each other. You are a witness of our amazingness. But we're here to learn about you. That we got some questions. We always do. But I think the one that is most on top of most people's minds, probably mine included, the name. I gotta know about the name.
Cool.
Where did this name come from?
This name, it's so weird, right? I jump into gaming and no one kind of gets it at first grasp, but I'm actually a graffiti artist. So it's MonsterDface. I'm a defacer like of graffiti, right? So it's actually deface for defacing property. And if you guys followed since the World Cup days, one of the panning shots on the Fortnite stage was some graffiti art at the Fortnite skirmish and the World Cup. And that was actually pieces done by me. So yeah, I'm very much I'm disgustingly good. Yeah, I'm disgustingly good with the spray cans and all that kind of stuff. So that's where the name comes from. And if I would have known I was gonna have a lick of success in the gaming world, I probably would have chose a different name. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know why. Why do you say that? It seems fine.
It seems totally fine, right?
It's fine. Yeah. It's a great name.
I mean, we got some. There's some bad ones out there, so yeah, it could have been worse. I mean,
you can name yourself ActionJaxon. That could have been terrible.
I still happen to do stuff on shows, and
snap.
For the obviously the listeners, you can't see this, but I'm putting up a little, we call it a black book in the graffiti world.
Yeah.
And it's a book loaded with art pieces, and sometimes we do that for the community. I like to continue to surround myself with art where I can. It's one of my few outlets.
Nice. I'm wondering how you got a spray can so small that you could do it in a book like that.
Oh well, this is done with paint markers. These would be done with paint markers.
Oh, those are markers.
Yeah. So, but you got to see my work with the stencils. If you guys want to check that out, like there is some really good art on there, and you'll see very fine detail. That's like my expertise nowadays.
You have a piece in the background there too. For those listening, there's a piece in the back. Did you draw that too? Was that yours?
I would happily steal credit for it, but no. That's I picked that one up. I framed it. It's an anime piece for the anime lovers out there. It's a bleach piece.
Oh, okay. I can kind of make it out. I'm like, that looks kind of dope. I didn't know what that was in the background. All right, that's very sick.
I mean, listen, if you want to see one of the canvases, I'll pull one out the closet. This will really blow you away. Not kidding.
Well, I'm not going to say no to that, please.
All right. Fill the air. I'll step away.
So Paul, last night I got this dope trinket.
Shut up about the damn trinket. Gosh.
Guys, anyone who wasn't in Paul's stream last night knows that all he wanted to do was play World of Warcraft, but he accidentally said, there we go. We already have it.
Dude, look at that.
Oh, you did that?
That's so sick. That
is incredibly sick.
For our viewers, I'm sorry. Can't see
I'm
it.
truly a graffiti artist. I guess one thing can I shamelessly plug at this point? Oh yeah. So listener, MonsterDface.com/art. All lowercase. You'll see a little snippet, and then you can feel very much, in the conversation with us. Thanks for understanding.
Nice. Love that. No, it's great. Well, can you describe what it is, just for them,
Yeah. So Stencil Art. That's kind of like I said. So the name comes from the graffiti background. There's a lot of different types of graffiti. It's not just street painting and street bombing. This is a form of stenciling art. So what you do is you take very thick grade material and you cut through it, and you create little islands that ultimately create a picture when you paint through it. So that photo that I just showed is about 4 or 5 layers. It gets really complex as you start to layer on colors. But after
that is sick.
A lot of years of practice, it starts to become a little more natural for you.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a crazy small world segue too. People who are going to check out the ornament, those are done by one of my best friends here in Seattle, who is also a stencil artist.
Yes,
and
sir.
He does his paintings are he has a 50-watt laser now because he was getting carpal tunnel from cutting them out with lighter paper, and so he's got 40, 50, 60 layer they're photos.
Oh man, so it's crazy that you say that. I stopped cutting too because you start getting some nasty calluses. It takes a lot of grind work to build those out. But I want to get the machine. The problem is when you go searching for these machines, they're so outdated, man. You're talking plotters from 2001. No one's making new age technology for this stuff. Yeah. So it's pretty unfortunate. So I haven't really invested in anything. I don't want to buy something that's going to be trash.
Yeah. It's not cheap either. They're old and they're not cheap. That laser was expensive. And then he's got 4 or 5 industrial grade.
Connect me with your boy, man. So I just know what he decided to go with. Maybe that'll help me make a decision.
Yeah, I mean, we started printing oils with him too because he's the guy with the printers. So we're anyway, he's making moves. Anyway, that's cool you said that because a lot of people are going to go to that website and be like, hey, this guy's a stencil artist. Is this? Yeah, they're gonna get confused. Okay, so your name came from which is I'm not gonna pronounce the D so hard anymore. I'm just gonna be like the face. Like
yeah.
But what was it? Was this your original name? Did you have like original like gaming related names before that have just fluctuated? Any that pop out in your head? What was your first name?
No, so like it's crazy because when I got into like gaming, I guess I was a bit older, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we're talking like online game, like maybe Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Battlefield 3 were the first online experiences that I had, and I love Battlefield 3, my favorite game. So by the time I got there, I was already like, I was a terrible teenager. So like I was a graffiti artist to the bone, like, and yeah, my username, like I was the MonsterDface. And that's just because that's what people knew me as. Like I was really, really, I was a bad kid with the graffiti cans. Like that was what I did. I was a bad man. But yeah, so that's why people called me the Monster, and that's where it all started.
Okay, so it just made sense. You're like, yo, I already got a name, I already got a brand, dude.
Yeah, when I stepped on a Twitch and people were like, "Oh, what's the D stand for?" I'm like, "Oh, I see what's happening here." It was too late. It was too late. Like by the time I had viewers, I'm like, "There's no way I'm giving this up." Like, and we're talking like I'm from the dinosaur days on Twitch. Like, there wasn't hosting or sub buttons. Like, if you had something, you couldn't give it up, right?
No,
and, like you had to keep it. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen very few.
OW.
Moon. Yep. I remember when Ava changed her name. I was like, bold. She's like an OG of Twitch. When Ava GG changed her name, I was like, what? Suicide.
Right.
How was anyone gonna find you? I mean, she's fine. Obviously, it worked out fine. But yeah, for some reason, it's like terrifying. Like I couldn't go from like ActionJaxon to like Jeff. No one's gonna find that. No one's gonna put that together.
Paul. Just Paul.
I don't know why I said Jeff. My name is Paul. I don't know why.
PAWL, Paul.
And I feel the same way. There's many a times I've really thought about like, man, do I just want to rebrand? Like, just add an E in there, or like even that terrifies me. Like, just name it.
Oh, really? Just adding the E?
Like, yeah, because like my search results are crazy. Like, and like it's just took so long to build this, so many years. But it's also just the fear, right? The fear of missing out once you go.
100%.
So,
no,
but I still think about it. I do still think about it because I know how to work the game at this, so I know I can come back to it. But do I want to start over? Like, do I? Yeah, I've kind of made it work. Yeah, is it worth it? Right? Like, I'm already winning in my own little category. Like, I'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I came this far. Who cares?
So I'm curious too. This is like a sidebar question to your defacing of public property. I want to know, and I feel like a lot of the listeners would want to know. Did you ever get caught? Like, did you ever? Do you have a run-in? We're
as like a professional broadcaster that I am. I'll talk about it. Yeah. So as a teenager, I got into a lot of trouble, man. My parents would get those late night rings, like, oh no, my son's sleeping. What are you talking about? I have been through a lot, and God bless my parents for sticking with me. It was really bad. Like, so by the time I was 18, I moved out the house because my parents were like, my parents were done with me. We're on very great terms. We never had bad terms, but it was just more like, hey, you want to go do whatever you want to do, figure it out. And I guess that's what made me become a really hard worker, but more importantly, like more appreciative of just every ounce that I've even managed to, build or create right within this space, because I realized, man, I didn't have nothing right when I started this off.
That's a great point of view to have. And also, just, you say your parents sticking with you, like, I don't know. Everyone's had like really done. I'm living currently, like we have a family living with us right now because they're like in between homes. It's like a whole different thing, but it's a buddy of mine, and him and his kids are staying here. And I'm like, there's 3 teenagers, and I'm like, man, I don't want kids at all. Like, this is tough. Like, I don't want to deal with this at all, bro. Yes. And then they're like, but they're good kids. Like, they're not going out graffitiing at night. If that was also like, if they were getting calls from the cops, like, hey, your son's here.
Paul, like, it could be worse. You could have had a me. You could have had a me. You could have had one of my brothers. Like we were bad, man. For the listeners, guys, I'm from the Bronx, New York. Anyone from the Bronx, anyone from the city, you guys would understand. It's just the way of life. It kind of comes to you. And it's the way we get by. You know, you just one thing leads to another, and Again, luckily for me though, like art and graffiti, there's a positive outlet at the end of that, right? It could have gone a lot 100%. Of different ways. So you know, you pick and choose your poison. But for me, it was art, it was graffiti, it was chasing that thrill. And you asked about like whether or not we have run-ins and stuff. Too many, a lot. Yeah. I've done a lot. Like, but they were so fun. Like looking back at it now, like. I'm not kidding, man. I lived such a crazy teenage life, and I had a game plan. It was maybe I'm crazy, but I had a game plan. Like I knew I was doing a lot of bad stuff or whatever, but I was like, hey, by the time I turned 18, New York City law states I'm technically lawfully an adult. So by that point, I'm just not going to do anything bad anymore. But from here to then, it's the wild, wild west. Like I could do whatever I want because. What are they gonna do? I'm a minor. Yeah, I kid you not. That was my philosophy.
I can't get in trouble.
I couldn't get in trouble. That's how I saw it. And even if I did get in trouble, I was like, "Who cares?" When I turn 18, you know, they can't use nothing. None of this.
It's all expunged. Yeah,
I'm a kid. Who cares? So that was my philosophy. And I went to college, and I had straight A students. So I went to college for policing right after that.
No way.
I'm not kidding. That was my game plan. I was like, yo, you know, these guys give me all this trouble. I might as well at least learn the other side of it. So I went to school for policing. I have a criminal justice degree. No kidding. It's the funniest thing. I know. It's ironic. There it is. Irony.
That is for anyone listening at home who's under 18. No. Don't. Guys.
We already have a lawyer in chat. It's like that's not how that works.
That's not.
Well, Mr. Lawyer. That's how I thought. That's what I thought.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So, don't do that, guys.
No, it's terrible. So you were painting. This is a terrible way to put that. It was just creating works of art on the streets, and then you said you found Twitch like in the beginning, right? Like kind of before the sub buttons and all that kind of stuff. What was your first experience with Twitch and live streaming? Like where did you how did you stumble across it?
Okay. Yeah. So I was really into so YouTube brought me to Twitch. Machinima had these top 5, top 10 gaming clips and stuff. Yeah. And back then, like Battlefield was huge, and they had these crazy plays of people scoring these massive like elimination chains. Look, I'm saying the word elimination from Fortnite. Elimination chains, right? And,
you are conditioned. Holy,
I am so like I am a professional. Look, these crazy kill clips, and I was like, bro, I can do that because I played a lot. Like we all think we can do it, right? We all think we're little stars. So I bought a hoppage, and anyone that like my old school guys who did old recording, you know, there's some dinosaur technology basically to record stuff. And while I was in the process of it, I'm like, man, this thing is chugging. Like my PC sucks. I can't really record this. And then I stumbled across Twitch because it was a live recording. Your VODs will get saved back then. So I jumped on a Twitch. My first experience with Twitch, to answer your question, I watched Summit. He was playing DayZ. And Summit, now that we're kind of peers, maybe I can't see you eye to eye all the way because you're a little, you're way OG and you're bigger than me. But
you were saying he's shorter, and I was going to agree with you.
Like we're peers in the space, so don't take offense to this. But I was like, if this old dude right here, this old ass guy can sit here and play games, there's no way. Like I'm way cooler than this dude. And that's what I thought. So I was like, I'm going to stream. And I was fascinated though, because I spent several hours. So shout out to Summit, man, because if it wasn't for him and him being a good caster, I wouldn't have been hooked on the Twitch platform. I wouldn't have stood like 2-3 hours just stuck on my screen. Like, why am I enjoying this? And then I was like, dude, if he's doing it, I know I can do it. So that's how I started.
That's awesome. We saw Summit,
dude. Like of all people, I know he's an OG.
This old SOB can do it. I can do it.
That's how I felt.
Same camera angle this day. He's the same. Yeah, it's the same stream.
I feel like a lot of people have said that. I feel like more than maybe would admit, like saw a stream where like I can do it better, and then just decided to start streaming on their own. Like I think that's how you start most successful things, even like a business. Like you see something, you're like, I can do better than that, and you start your own business. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. If
gotta be a better way.
It's a compliment. Yeah, exactly. There's gotta be a better way.
Yeah, so, but and it was a number of things, right? Like I was captivated by the experience. That's what really like kind of blew my mind, because again, this is before streaming and the word content, right? Or content absorption, or whatever you want to call it, consuming the content was a thing. Before we realized it was a thing, I was like, yo, like I'm hooked. Like this is fun. And then you could talk to them. He never answered me. You suck. But like, I was like, dude, like he doesn't even talk to his chat. Like I could do this. That's really what I was thinking. I'm not kidding.
That's
little
amazing.
bit I know. I'm like, yo, this guy's got thousands. Like, what do I know, right? Like,
yeah. Imagine talking to that chat. Like,
yeah, I had no idea. It's like this guy doesn't answer anyone. What's wrong with him?
So you're oh gosh, Summit, friend of the show.
He didn't even rate it.
Friend of the show, not really yet. So you did that. You were like, I can do better than Summit. But then when did you decide that you could take it full time? What point did you reach where you're like, I can do this? Like this is my main gig.
I have a very, oh man, my career path was so weird with Twitch. So I jumped on. I started playing Battlefield. I was playing DayZ. I was playing all these games, and I would get 10 to 30 viewers. Like it was cool, but when they would come very few and thin. So I didn't have the motivation. Like, I didn't really realize that even then was a lot. It was me being addicted to my phone, actually looking down and constantly opening Clash of Clans to collect my base. And then like every time, and I'm streaming, playing Clash of Clans rather than playing Battle. I kid you not. I'm playing this phone game. Bro, that's when it all clicked. I'm like, I gotta stream this. This game didn't even have a category. Mobile wasn't even a thing.
Really?
So I'm one of the pioneers and innovators of mobile gaming to the Twitch platform. And that's how I amassed my big following and stuff. So I figure out a way to get Clash of Clans on the PC. And then things took off, because now I'm like in the most cult community of like, I play phone games too, bro. I'm addicted. Like you're addicted, I'm addicted. So like we're like living in this little freaking weird world of like we're playing phone games. And man, my channel blew up with Clash of Clans. I used to average thousands of viewers, man. And I built this huge community. But when I decided to go full time, and this is another just bad take, but it ended up working out. I got partnered, right? So like a good year in, my first partnership was declined. Back then you need 500 average viewers, guys. Remember that. I'm averaging like 300-400 viewers. They're like, nah, dog, you need more. I'm like, how? Like I have so many. Like, right? So long story short, I started going harder, right? They're like, you need to stream more. You need to do this. I'm like, bet. I stream more. I hit the milestones that I need. I get partnered, and I was blown away by the fact that anyone would even subscribe to me. Remember, I couldn't even hold a normal conversation back then. Like my New York accent was thick. Like it was crazy. Like I was a hood rat for real. So like people paying me and support, and like I was like, there's no way there's generous people like this out there. I just never experienced that level of just support from anyone, right? But then it opened my eyes, like, man, there's a whole different world out there, and maybe I should continue to work on this. So I got to the point to where I had about 250 subs. And back then my contract was, 50-50 split, right? So I was making like, what's that? 250 times 2. There you go. For like $500, right? Off of Twitch. And I had a job at the same time. I was working part-time, and I was going to school for policing. So I was going hard. Like I'm streaming, I'm part-time working, I'm going to college, and between the Twitch check and the part-time check, like I was doing, like I felt really good. Like, man, I'm making money for myself. And it came this point in the workplace where I was like, bro, I need a promotion. Like I want to make more. Like I'm working hard over here, and you guys are like slamming me. And they were scamming me, guys. They gave me 7 hours instead of 8 hours. So I wasn't full-time employee. I didn't get no full-time benefits. But I was working 7 hours. And they were like, no, but don't worry, take lunch whenever you want. I said, but the lunch is what qualifies me. Like, what are you talking about? Just eat within your hours. So yeah, that's the Bronx for you. So I'm getting scammed at work. I'm salty because everyone else around me is salaried employees. I'm the young kid, right? That they're just trying to take advantage of. And I knew that. So I decided, and my dad got me the job, mind you. So I'm like, yo, dad, I'm quitting this. Like, I got 250 subs going halftime. If I go full time, I'm going to have 500 subs. That's how it works, right? That's what I thought.
It's equal. Yeah, it's equal. Yeah.
That's what I thought. So I'm like, hey, listen,
same
if
mistake.
I just stop working here, it's just going to go up over here. So So I quit the job, man. I went full time on Twitch with 250 subs, and man, I was blessed. It worked. I got to 500,
That's
and
amazing.
I was able to make by with the extra time.
That's incredible. I had the exact opposite, where I was like, oh, I'm part-time at work, and I'm part-time streaming. I'm like, well, I'll double my income at work. I'll get these full-time benefits, and I'll only half stream. Like, I can live with that. Like, if I just have it, like, forced. It was awful.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, oh, you're not on as much. Like, well, you don't exist anymore. Guys, Paul's dead. He doesn't stream anymore. He's dead. Fell off the face of the earth. So that's amazing. You had the exact opposite. I'm glad that yours worked out. Props to you for yours working out. That was amazing.
And here we are. He's a full-time streamer.
And here I am. I'm back. I'm back.
Well, the story gets crazier though. So Clash of Clans is like a big deal, you know?
Yeah.
So Clash of Clans is a big deal for us. I started growing this community. I'm averaging thousands of viewers now. So I'm getting the eyeballs of Twitch staff. Now I'm a key player on Twitch. I'm like growing, one of the fastest growing channels at the time. And I'm doing mobile. So they're like, yo, this kid's innovating on our platform. They took a big liking to me for that. So Anil, and this is Anil, he has an emote on Twitch if you guys don't know. So Anil back then, Anil's the guy. So when Anil rediscovered my channel when I was growing, he was like, yo, this kid's kind of cool. He looked into it. It turns out Anil was the dude that approved my partnership contract years ago. So this is like 2-3 years in. Yeah, Anil stumbles back across my channel and he's like, yo, who signed this kid, right? Who's his partner manager? It turns out he signed me way back in the day. And now he's actually the head of partnership department at this time. He goes out of his way to DM me. He's like, yo, my man, it's so crazy how I re-stumbled upon you because when I was first working at Twitch, I signed you as a partner. I decided to allow you to have the button. He said, let me do you something better. I'm sure you're trying to get by. Let me give you a better contract. And then he actually took me from like, I was doing good with the subs that I had and stuff, but he gave me a much bigger revenue split. And that right there, that allowed me it took me to a whole different level of financial freedom and put me into a place where I was just like, I'm forever grateful to this man because he gave me a shot. And it was then and there that I realized, okay, some people really care out there, even on this platform. I need to take this more seriously.
Yeah, 100%, dude. That's amazing. Anil is he actually gave me my sub button as well. He's a great dude.
See, we're old. He's
a great dude. Yeah. Been around for a long time. I feel like back then too. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like I remember the sub button was not the same as partnership. There was like partnership, and then like you got your sub button later. Like
so
it was like separate for some reason.
You could sign up. So yeah, when you got partnered on Twitch, like I got partnered. You didn't even have a sub button. Like they're just like you just get celebrated. Like, oh great, I'm partnered. Now what? Nothing changes. Right? Like nothing changes. You're just partnered with Twitch. And then you had to advocate for your sub button. You're not wrong about that. That's how old we are. That's how old their system is. They didn't even offer it to you. They're just like, oh yeah, that exists. You want it? Sure, turn it on. Like what?
It's the wild west of Twitch.
It was so crazy.
It's insane. Do almost anything there.
But was it like double celebration then when you got partnered and then you got your sub button?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You celebrated twice because now it's like, oh, they approved my sub button, like, and that's a big deal. That's the next step.
Yeah. I remember it was a big deal for Tim when he got to the Tam, and when he got his partnership, and then later on, like I think it was like a couple days later, maybe even a week, he got a sub button, and then that was like, it's almost like the sub button was the actual thing you celebrated. Partnership was like cool. It's like, I'm on my way.
I'm accepted.
Yeah. And then you finally got it. That is an awesome story. I love that Anil is a part of your story as well. That's very cool.
Yeah, man. He's held it down.
Sounds like you've gone through some stuff to get here. A lot of checkpoints along the way. We've had a lot of really awesome people on here and very original, interesting stories. And we've heard a lot of different answers for this question. What's one thing you wish you would have known when you started? Like, what's a tip you would give to somebody? You're like, man, a year ago, this would have been really helpful. I wish I would have known this.
Yeah, I missed the YouTube boat when I was growing as a mobile streamer. I realized that So I've been through I've been through several titles full time, right? And by full time, I mean like if you guys don't know, to build a Twitch platform, when you jump ship to a new game or whatever, most of the time you're demolishing your house and you're rebuilding a brand new one.
Yep.
So I've been through that. I've been through that rodeo several times, right? And I realized from my jump of Clash of Clans to Clash Royale and then onwards, I was like, man, if I would have just continued to work on YouTube, because I was there during the golden age where you drop a video and that video got 10,000 views, and you brush over what's 10K, right? Like it wasn't worth anything. That was my biggest mistake, and I worked really hard as I got later into my career, as I became more in depth with what's going on and more in tune with what companies value, to focus on YouTube. And it was because of my YouTube channel and my mistakes that I learned over the years that I found success in Fortnite.
Yeah. It's true. There was a time period, I remember when I had a YouTube, and it was very like archaic. It was basically like a couple of things on my phone, very light editing. And I would like fade to a DCMA, DMCA. There it is. Like a DMCA song I didn't own. And like, it was just, it was a nightmare, but it would get like 1,000 views or 2,000 views. And I was like, oh man, it's not doing that well. But like,
right.
you start out, like,
it's a lot.
It's a lot of views. Like, yeah, that's not nothing. That's a great amount of views for someone who's just starting out. It has like 500 subs, if that. Like, how does you got more views than subs? Like, that's great. So, yeah, I agree. I feel a lot of parallels here, where I definitely agree that starting a YouTube early supplements your Twitch channel. We've talked about a lot on the pod that it is very difficult to grow Twitch on its own, like by itself. If you're just going to start a Twitch channel and like not have socials or not have a YouTube, especially, YouTube is just such a huge pillar of propping up your Twitch to help it grow. Yeah.
And to jump on that, like I'm a big, like I advocate for, I'm against the streaming culture, the binge streaming culture. I'm so against that. I'm like, listen, work smarter, not harder. Go launch a podcast, run the YouTube videos, build your social avenues. Get involved in Reddit, like hit these niche communities, because if I ask everyone in my chat right now, how'd you find me? They're going to say, oh, I watched this video. Oh, I saw you commentated this event. Oh, you know what I mean? It's your collaborative efforts, and it's what you do outside of the Twitch bubble. When they see your name, now they're more inclined to click you and become fans of you. No one's like, I was browsing Twitch and I came all the way down to the last page and there's your face. You know what I mean? Click. I'm a fan. Hell, like that doesn't happen.
That's not what happened.
It's not
how it happens, guys. Also going and being like, I'm live now, and other chats also doesn't work.
So don't do that. Doesn't work.
So don't do that.
I scrolled all the way down just to see. I found you. Yeah, that is incredibly accurate. We talk about just how necessary it is to build up everything else around Twitch to have a successful Twitch stream. And you're right. I even talking from my own experience of whatever success I've had within the community is like, I get involved in this. I do this event. I do that event, like whatever. Like try to get in as many things as possible. Not like barge my way in, but just like say yes. Like often people are like, hey, do you want to come to this? And you're like, yeah, that sounds good. I'll do that. Hey, want to come on this podcast? Sure. Yeah, it's going to take me a long time to get the scheduling down. And I'm probably going to say no a bunch of times until PM finally sends the 5th email. And then I say yes. But like that is what it takes. I'm just giving you a hard time. I don't even know how it went. I have no idea how many emails it took. But yeah, you try to get involved in different communities like your Reddit, like Twitter especially. It's fantastic. Instagram, I guess, if you want to take pics. Cool. But yeah.
TikTok is just completely destroyed Instagram.
Oh, TikTok. Oh my gosh.
Well,
are you guys on a TikTok train right now?
Hardcore. The one I posted yesterday was fire. So it is doing really, really well. I got a shout out to Puffer too. Big Puffer's in it as well, just staring incredulously at me while I walk over his body over and over again in Among Us. Never find him.
That's fine.
So we both are cams, and he's like, "What is happening?" It's
ActionJaxon, are you doing it as well? Are you pursuing TikTok?
I'm trying really hard, man. I'm trying really hard. Do what I say, not what I do. I really want to get more involved in TikTok. I have it. I do have a couple videos. I just have to I find that I have to take creative time. So I have to set aside time in my day to think about how am I going to be creative? Because if I just hope it comes to me and hope I have time to make a video, then it's not going to happen. Like I have to be intentional about setting time up, and I'm just not that intentional about
do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Sounds like you know what you need to do. You just gotta do it.
It's always. I think a lot of people know what they need to do.
I'm on a different side of the fence on this one. Like
really?
I've come to the realization that not every platform's for me, man. And for the kind of content, for the the persona that I'm building and the brand that the platform that I'm building, it just doesn't resonate with me. So I can't make the content that should probably thrive on that platform, because all platforms are different, right? The way I put a caption on Instagram is different than what I'm going to put on Twitter. You know what I mean? It comes from a different perspective, and the TikTok perspective for me is not for me. But I mean, for the short time and durations that I posted stuff on there, I mean, I've had some good versions of success, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's cool.
It's all about what your goals are, right? At the end of the day, it's all about what your goals are. Like, for example, TikTok right now is, and I was talking about this actually earlier on the baseball podcast, because they were talking about content. They're like, first couple questions about content, and an hour later we were done talking about content. But we were just talking. I was just talking about, you got to know like what age groups are in places, and then what you want to make, and then who's gonna like that. Yeah, and then sometimes it just doesn't like sometimes stuff doesn't. There's a reason we don't all post everything to Facebook, because there's just a certain people are there for a certain thing, and it's probably not to see my gaming clips. Probably not. I'm just not going to do well. It never did even remotely well. No one cared at all. And like baseball tends to do stuff. Older people like baseball. Like but that understanding helps. And then sometimes you're just like, I don't want to dance, and I don't want to. Clips don't really. The things I'm playing now don't really translate either. So like, I'm not going to worry about it right now. But yeah, it's been really interesting, because I don't know. I'm just I've said this 1,000 times. I'm going to say it again. I'm just really interested in like learning about how it works and what successful people are doing, and then trying that stuff and just seeing what happens. Like that's just like my personality. So like I give everything a chance. I'm very much like that. And right now, growing the YouTube is kind of a big goal. Most of our goals actually are built around our YouTube. Me and the editors and stuff are like mostly worried about that than the live stream. So everything's kind of focused that way. And TikTok happens to be the hottest way right now to grow your YouTube channel specifically. So I would be remiss, because I want to achieve that goal. I'd be remiss if I didn't use one of the vehicles to get there. So, yeah, it's very interesting.
Thanks for waiting until the pod to tell me that. Really appreciate it. Yeah, super cool.
Little secret sauce right there for everyone listening.
So much. Well, Javier, I'm really curious in a little bit of a gear switch to gaming. You kind of alluded to this earlier. Breaking down your house and rebuilding it when you switch games. How do you handle the ups and downs associated with being known for a certain game? And also, for example, how do you deal with, let's say, an update to that game not going well, not being received well, and then having to create content around it?
Oh, okay.
A little bit layered, but I just...
Definitely a multi-layered question. So how do you deal with people that don't want to see you go? Right? You're saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, when you make those transitions.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel like for me, so here's the thing for me, right? So first off, for any content creator, influencer, person in life, define success for yourself and set out to achieve that. Your version of success is not going to be anyone's version of success, and your journey is going to be so different. And I learned that the hard way, but I'm happy that I learned it early in my career, that it allowed me to find peace with whatever it was that I was going to focus on. And as quickly as those naysayers go, they can, new people come to fill in those shoes, especially when you're good at what you're doing and you have a game plan to get to where you want to be. So when it comes into, getting into those new games, it's just about timing, right? You got to do it right. You got to work with the right people, and you got to be building the right content. Otherwise, you're just going to fail, and you don't want to waste your time either, right? Or it's going to just be harder, because, everyone's still moving in the same direction. It's just whether or not, you're the guy sprinting or you're in a very sluggish walk, right? Yeah. Time will still get you wherever it is that you want to be, but it's still important to work smarter and not harder in those instances. And then, like, working with a game that all of a sudden you either, one, lose passion for, or two, like you said, an update comes through and it sucks. I've been in both sides. The moment I've ever lost passion in something, I stopped pursuing it, because early on, the number one thing that got me my version of success was my addiction, my passion for Clash of Clans and the mobile game. So I quickly realized very early on, if I like something and I go after it, it's going to work.
Yeah.
It may not work tomorrow, but it's going to work. I've seen it happen multiple times across multiple titles. How do you deal with the game when it sucks? Man, that's a rough one, right? Sometimes you just got to play something else. But at the same time, this is a job. You really do have to bite the bullet. You have to stand on the platform, the game, and you know what I mean? You got to build the content, because if you're not doing it, someone else is going to do it. And that's it. It could, that ship will take off.
Damn.
Yeah.
I feel like where, in a lot of ways, I am at with Tarkov in the bad update section, where like Tarkov doesn't necessarily have bad updates to say, Escape from Tarkov, but towards the end of the wipe, they call it, or the cycle of the game where they reset everything back to zero and you start over again, that period is similar to a bad update. Let's just call it mechs in Fortnite. Let's just relate those two things. Mechs in Fortnite and the end
frustrating
of
to play. Yeah, it can be frustrating to play. It's not fun, right? It really zaps the life out of you. And as a streamer, as a content creator, you don't want to be on camera, and well, you kind of have to be on camera at times, right? And just perk up, right? You got to make it work. You got to be entertaining. But how can you be entertaining when the game is literally dragging you through the mud like you're not having fun, right? It's hard to be who you want to be when these other things are weighing you down. So I'm totally with you. And to that point, yeah, like for example, when Fortnite has a really trash season or like a bad update or whatever, right? Man, it's hard for me, especially being what you can call like somewhat of an ambassador behind the brand, because I am literally a voice. And no matter what happens, when I get hired, I'm up there to say whatever I need to say, because that's my job now. It's not just my opinion doesn't matter anymore. It's the mission of why I was hired, why I do this. It gets tough, right? And you got to work through it, though. You really got to work through it. And in my profession, it's a little bit harder because I'm on the front lines for real.
Exactly.
With streamer. Exactly. That's why we wanted to hear your perspective on it, because it's a little more life and death for you than us. Definitely.
Yeah, we could have a bad stream where we're like, you know what? Not feeling Fortnite, game sucks, and then we just like move on, whatever. But you can't be like, and we're back to this shitty update. Thanks for tuning in to the World Cup. Anyway,
well, and honestly, I learned my lesson the hard way, because I realized I did that before. I've been there, where I was like working with developers and then also just like trashing on their game, and I quickly realized how that didn't work out. So that was a lesson learned for me. Fortnite, I've learned my lesson, took my try at that. That didn't go anywhere for me, So it's now just about, I'm respectful. I'm very much respectful. I'm understanding. And I love that Epic gives us the freedom to do that. They don't stop us from being who we are on our own personal socials or whatever. Obviously what you say matters, right? We still have to be, everyone has to be careful, you and I included. But we're able to be ourselves. So if we don't like something, we can voice it, right? It's just about what you say and how you say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's not one of the, and just so everyone knows, it's not one of those things where like someone from the developers be like, hey man, I didn't appreciate that, just next time don't do it. It's more of like they just don't talk to you anymore.
I mean, or they do both. I mean, they do both.
Hey, bro, we don't want you back, and this is why.
There's some goons out there. Trust these devs. They want to pull the trigger on you. You're out.
I mean, it is kind of their everyday, all day game. They put their heart and souls. I get it.
Yeah, I've been there. I've had a dev straight tell me, "Hey, listen, we don't like what you say. That's why we don't hire you at all or promote you." And I was like, "Yo, IG, my bad. I understand." And you know what? That makes sense. Bite the hand that feeds you. And I had a very harsh taste of that.
Happens. Yeah. I would actually like, if I could, just really quickly, because I had a little bit of something that's really interesting to me is the transition of games, simply because currently right now there's only really one game that I wake up every day. I'm like, I want to play all day, and that's World of Warcraft. And we know how streaming that goes, because it's a game that's been around. It's like being like, I want to play RuneScape. There's only so much you can do with it. So one interesting thing that I've been thinking about, that I think that I got kind of thinking about in more of a variety context, was the other night. Some of you may have seen it on Twitter. I posted a picture of me in a onesie watching Courage, Cloaksy and Lupo, and then some guys in their guild try to do progression in the new expansion of WoW. And I was like, this is my dream. Like, my dream is to everyone, like the whole group that we used to like play Fortnite with and all that stuff. If we all like ran a 10-man raid, that I think that would be the most fun thing in the whole world. And I'm like, and this would work really well for these guys if they were like one day a week. They're like, it's WoW night, and we all played WoW, and then everyone went back to their games. So I was like, that would be, if you made it if you make it like a daily thing, and this is for people who are out there like, we played Fortnite for 2 years, and then you're just like, it's not, the fire isn't there. I mean, thousands of hours. I want to play something. I have something else I want to do. Introducing it in like a scheduled way. Like, today is the day that I'm going to play this game for, if you're doing variety, be like, this is WoW day. It could be reset day. So that at least people coming in that day know that's what they're getting. So it becomes kind of a part of the whole being consistent thing in streaming is you're becoming part of people's lives. And then when you start to introduce new things, you just say, okay, you're going to get this in small bites and realize if you like it. So it's not like so scary. Like, a lot of times for viewers, they're just like, oh God, he's changing, I don't like it. Like, immediately.
It is true. Yeah, there's a lot of emotion behind it. People do that.
They're just like, oh, and if you're more like, it's still going to be me, we're going to be cool about it. And if you don't want to come in that day, at least beforehand. I think that's a good way to, even if you're trying new stuff out, be like, try to schedule a little bit and let people know. And they tend to give it more of a chance instead of just seeing the game underneath your screen one day and be like, nah.
I've been there. I do rogue, like, there was a time where I was doing roguelike Mondays or like movie nights. And movie nights we'll play like Telltale games or RPG games, and we'll do that like Wednesday night. So yeah, over the years of streaming and stuff, it is such a common thing, especially with streamers and content creators. They're trying to break away from the norm, right? The rinse and repeat, or the again, just the cycle of playing the same game. Boredom can kick in for streamers, and that's a big fear, because when you're a streamer and you commit to a game and you have all your growth, you really are throwing all your marbles in that basket, man. And trying to disperse them out is not easy. It's not easy. There's very, very few variety streamers, and those guys are only successful because they stuck with it for years. Yeah. So it's also one of those commitment things, right? Where again, you want to get there, you want to find that success, you gotta go through it. You just gotta keep doing it.
Like, a huge part of why it's not like everyone's like, oh, you stream, like you just play games for a living. Not everyone, but like, like people just don't understand the culture, the environment. And it's like, do you know how much I'm like balancing in any given moment? Like, like in that time, I'm playing COD and I'm like, whatever, I'm playing COD. Like, that's fun. But I'm thinking about like, how long do I play COD? Have I been playing COD too long? Like, what's my audience look like? What do they think about me playing COD? Should I be playing something else? Should I play a different version of COD? Like, you're just like constantly thinking like, all right, maybe I should switch it up. How should I switch it up? Am I doing chat interaction enough? What is the community responding to? I mean, to some extent, sure. A lot of it is when you hit that groove, you're just like, I'm just having fun. This is fantastic. But when things start to fluctuate, or you start to look at your numbers and you're like, all right, now it's time to look at how I'm performing. What do my numbers look like? That's where it gets to a whole mental game of, do I switch games? Do I start movie nights? Do I start? How do I liven it up? Not only for my chat, but for me, because I'm burned out.
Yeah.
You gotta find those.
That's ways. And when you do it for enough years, everyone hits those hurdles, right? It's gonna happen no matter what. And for a long while, I was living in a fairy tale world with the game and my success. It was like, this is never going to go anywhere, right? Like, it's never going to go away is more what I should be saying, right? Because I was at such a peak, man. The game was great. The viewers were there, and it was everything that I never knew I wished for. And it was just so good. And then when you watch it go away, it sucks. It hurts. It stings. You want to cry, but ain't nothing you can do about it. You can't force no one to come. There is no shortcuts. It just has to happen. Yeah. You need a lot of hard work and a little bit of luck, and then you need to be ready. It's like everything has to happen at the same time.
Yeah.
There is like no shortcuts.
No. At all. At that fever pitch of Fortnite, that in some respects has continued in different ways, but like that peak of gameplay and content creation, when that was just like everything was just perfect. It was just like this beautiful harmony. I feel like there was also just like, when's it gonna stop?
Yeah. Where's the cliff, dude? We're coming on a cliff. Ever since he watched Sacriel ride that freaking rocket on like day 3 after I want to call it launch because it was in, it was early release for
a couple seasons in, right.
A couple seasons, but like, he was riding the pumpkin and just lagging everywhere because you weren't supposed to do it and they didn't anticipate it happening, and he's just having a blast sniping guys, and everyone's like, you can do so much stuff in this game. And then they started tailoring, dude. And then like you just throw something on Instagram, 600,000 views, and you're like, this is easy. Yeah. And then they changed their algorithm. Now it's a literal graveyard on that place. So
when Barstool is premiering Fortnite clips on their Instagram and Twitter, you're like, dang, this is getting people. This has broad appeal to people I didn't think would be interested in it because it's such a like goofy kind of, in some ways like a childish kind of game, and you're like, freaking Barstool's interested. This is wild.
Yeah.
That for me,
Fortnite
like
transcended. Fortnite transcended like just so many barriers, man. They broke the barriers on. I mean, listen, every game now is building their game to be multi-platform, cross-platform, and it's because of the Fortnite wave.
Yeah,
like it's crazy what they did for gaming for sure.
That's me. Yeah, that's how I discovered Twitch, Fortnite.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how you discovered it. Period. PM.
Yeah. That's how we met PM because he was in when we were playing Fortnite.
That's true.
And then we got the music thing, and I saw he was a producer, and here we are. Crazy, it's crazy how all this stuff came together. No, it's all good. That's great.
My brother was watching someone play Fortnite, and I was like, "Why the hell are you watching someone play a video game? Like, let's go do something." And he goes, "No, you don't understand it." 6 months later, I'm like, "Yo, did you watch this? Did you see this on Twitch?" Literally took my life over.
There you go.
Here we are.
And speaking of taking your life, actually, it's just completely irrelevant. I'm really interested. We move on because we have to do the ad. Man. We have our bosses a little bit. But before we get there, I'm very interested because you're from the Bronx, and so this is like this could be anything. It could be literally anything. But fast food or quick something you grab to eat because it's a little different.
Because you have to some halal food and pick the right truck too, right? Pick the right truck, some good halal food. That is what you got to do. And if not, like hit your local Dominican or Puerto Rican deli, all right, and get yourself a nice steak sandwich or chopped cheese or just anything, right? Pick your choose, pick your poison, right? Have fun. That's the quick eats. That's how you eat when you're in the city.
Yeah, it's funny because most people think they're thinking of like, let's go into the 7-Eleven, right? But no, it's not like that. No, this is like
pull up to the Bronx, right? Hunts Point, go to the corners.
What your mom makes,
deli.
but better. Like, these guys they make really good food, and you just pop into a little, like your bodega or whatever. Like it's everywhere. There's stuff. There's so much good food. I cannot wait to play baseball there. It's gonna be awesome.
Very exciting. Yeah.
I mean, not specifically the Bronx, but I'm not a Yankee. Just so everyone knows that I'm not a Yankee. I just need to be very clear, because people get on me. The Mets fans will be like, you alluded. I didn't allude. I didn't allude. I didn't do it. Halal. Okay, awesome. Dope.
Yeah.
Well,
halal. Have fun.
Guess who gets to do the guess who gets to do the ad today? This guy. I got 2 thumbs too. This guy. So going into our ad read. Manscaped. Sponsored as always by Manscaped. Listen up, fellas. 2020 sucked. It's almost the new year, which means new balls. Jeez. With our sponsor, Manscaped. Manscaped is the best in men's below the waist grooming, offering precision engineered jewels for your family jewels. Tools for your family jewels, and helping 2 million men all over the world get rid of hair in their nether regions. If you let yourself go in 2020, like I'm sure some of us did, some of us also got in shape. I can't count myself in there, but some people did. Manscaped is here for you to reboot and stay clean and shaved in 2021. Manscaped is here to give you a fresh start in 2021. The perfect package 3.0 that has all the right tools for the job. Come out of quarantine with clean balls. Thanks to the Lawnmower 3.0. This waterproof and skin safe DM trimmer will reduce nicks and cuts on your 2 best friends. The 3rd generation trimmer even has a light to give you the glow up needed in 2021, because we all know you got to trim your body hair in the dark. Anti-chafing ball deodorant moisturizer. Also, It's also time to freshen up down there on the new year with the Crop Preserver DM and its anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. They're great. It is great. They have all these phenomenal. I'm going to get into it, but there's so many great products from they just go along with it. You already put deodorant on your bar pits. You might as well put it down there. 2020 was so awful. So let's make sure your boys are refreshed and ready for the new beginnings of 2021. It's just around the corner. Manscaped even threw in their shed travel bag. It literally is a bag that looks like a shed for keeping all your tools. Do you understand? Awesome. To keep all your goodies stored comfortably. Speaking of comfort, the Manscaped anti-chafing boxer briefs are also included. One pair, so don't wear them every day, but you can wear them sometimes, and they're very, very comfortable. The guy with hairy balls is like the year 2020. Nobody likes that guy. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code MCA at manscaped.com. That is 20% off, free shipping, code MCA at manscaped.com. Your balls, as always, will say, thanks, Pop Pop. I added that last part. We're gonna do something new next time. Manscaped, guys, 20% off. Go to the website, use our code so that they know that you like it and us. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
Thanks, Pop Pop.
Thank you, Pop Pop.
Always wanted to say Pop Pop on the podcast. It happened. Finally happened, guys.
There you go.
9 episodes.
Outstanding.
I did get blind once and I had to go back. That sucked.
It's okay.
I was rolling, bro. I was
You
rolling.
were really feeling it. You're feeling that ad read. It was mine, but it was really good.
Oh, dry mouth now. I was kind of in that.
So Javier, your guest specific question, something related to you specifically. So you run operations for Open Scrims and Practice Server. So we have a little bit of understanding about how these things work, but can you take us through exactly what a scrim is, right? I feel like that's a lot in the Fortnite community, what a scrim is. Yes, for the layman, and how you got involved with those two programs, Open Scrims and Practice Server.
Yeah, and there's a really good story behind that. So we'll jump into that. But to break it all down for you guys, what is a scrim? What is this ecosystem that is the Open Scrims? It's basically a hub, a place for you to come play and get better. Anyone that is looking to scrim, you are trying to pair yourself up against players equal, if not better than your skill level, so that you can continue to go head to head and improve so you get to the next level. So we're very much an amateur track to lead you to becoming a pro player, which in the Fortnite scene, if you are part of the practice server system, you're considered a pro by everyone from the outside looking in. That's scrimming. That's what the Open Scrims is. Opens to becoming basically a pro, and practice servers, the hub that the pros compete in. And it's been around since the earliest days of Fortnite, but the best question here is, how did I get involved with this? How did I become a part of this? Because this directly correlates to my career of being a caster, a professional caster. So I gone through, obviously, the ringer with becoming a caster in the sense that I was never trained professional when it came down to camera presence, how to speak, right? Or any of this stuff. I didn't know how to take a proper catch, deliver an ad read like that. I didn't know anything. I didn't have any proper training, but Epic gave me an opportunity to do casting for the first time. And that's how I got into it. And they continue to give me opportunity. And I met Golden Boy and we just kept going. This whole thing built up. Fast forward to the World Cup, when the World Cup was ending and everyone's living on the highs of their lives, the biggest tournament in the world. I got to be a part of it. I was one of the very few casters that actually had the chance to cast one of the 6 games. Obviously, Dr. Lupo, Courage JD, Golden Boy, and myself were the only 4 casters to actually cast over the actual games that played. That was a big deal for me, but it was also the scariest thing because once again in my career, when it ended, we hit the Epic Games radio silence. And that's when I realized, oh my gosh, just the same way you can see streaming fade away and disappear, so can casting. And this is my first very raw, very real experience of what's next. They're not announcing anything. I'm just now getting my skin in the game, having the confidence to do this. How am I going to survive now, right? Because I put so much into being a caster. I literally sacrificed my channel. You guys know what it's like when you step away from your live stream. Those numbers go. Subs decline. The money is amazing being a caster, though. So, like, it don't get me wrong. It was very much worth the trade-off. But as I realized the events were quote unquote drying up, there wasn't work available. And that's how I launched the practice server business side. And I legitimized it as a business because then I realized, okay, there's clearly a lot of value. I'm getting paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to do this. How are they securing this money to run this entire production and pay me absurd amounts of money? And I can only imagine what my peers are getting paid. Right? We're talking Lupo, we're talking Courage, we're talking Golden Boy. If I'm making a great living, their checks must be stupid. So if they can afford this, there must be some serious money in this business, and I need to figure it out. So I launched my own production business. That's how I got involved with the practice server. And I decided that I would never wait for someone to hire me. Instead, I'm going to work really hard to secure sponsors, deliver a premium product. And I come from a much different corner than anyone else because I'm a content creator. I'm now a professional caster, and I understand what it's like to be on the talent side. So I filled the voids and those gaps when it comes down to me acquiring talent and putting on great shows. I come from the perspective of what I like to work and what I like to see. So all that put together, in the last 9 months, I've launched a very successful production business, which is the practice server. And we've leveraged our professional players, ecosystem, friendships, and all this reach that I have within the pros to build some really amazing shows and launch some great series, which has now led us to be a great white label for Fortnite productions and other titles as well. We're doing Rocket League now, and we've really expanded, but it was because I just decided, man, I'm going to boss up, and there's no one, I'm not going to wait for opportunity. I'm going to create it.
That's amazing, dude. That's so cool. That's, I think a reality that a lot of us faced was when COVID hit, wow, like it's not stable. Like we have no idea.
That's a whole different, that's crazy. So COVID helped my business a lot.
In that, yes.
After World Cup, COVID hadn't happened yet. It was just, I was realizing from my own perspective, like, yo, bro, there's no lands. Like, what am I gonna do? I did TwitchCon, and then what was next? There was nothing. So I launched remote production, and that's the crazy part. I launched it as a remote business because I realized if I could do this remote, which I knew we could, we developed a very great system. It's even better now. We developed a system though that I'm like, I don't need $1 million studio to make better content than these guys. So our price is amazing compared to these other competitors, and we're delivering the same high quality shows. COVID hits, everything dries up, everyone needs to go remote. We're way ahead of the game because we've already established an infrastructure for the last 3 to 6 months, which led us into COVID, which then we started to excel from there forwards.
That's incredible.
So timing on that one for sure.
God, fire me up. Fire me up. So okay. So to be honest, just to give you a little bit of a background on how I'm actually know about Open Scrims and the practice court and all that stuff is just like I've had many conversations with Zayt and all the pros that were running it.
My boy.
From actually a data collection analytics statistics standpoint, I've been kind of prodding that area the same way you were like, okay, there's a gap to fill here. I believe, just because of my experience in baseball, I believe that analytics are just the way, and especially how big it is in League of Legends, like how far ahead of the curve they are there. I'm like, the more these I tried to do it with Overwatch. The Overwatch League is what the Overwatch League is, and the opportunity wasn't actually as big as we thought it would be. But there's so many opportunities just with all these third party ancillary businesses built around a professional scene and game. But like you said, production, especially remote production, that's not going anywhere. That's only going to be more and more valuable the farther we go here, because when it comes to getting something produced in a very high quality way, cost the cost is always the main sticking point. It's just big productions take a lot of money to do usually, and a lot of people and a lot of different expertises, and make sure it goes off without a hitch. And the better you do that, the more friction you remove from that system, dude. That's why I'm so fired up. I'm like, dude, damn, I wish I would have thought about it. But of course, you're on the production side. You had that unique everything dried up, but it didn't need to, right?
Exactly. And for me, it was just and not only that, I was in a unique position because I'm popular, I'm accepted, and I'm loved by the Fortnite community. And people call it underrated or whatever, but people genuinely like to support me, and I have just enough supporters that and respect in the space that no one doubts the quality and or what it is that the legitimacy of what I'm bringing to the table. Exactly, because I'm a caster and I've been working for it. So, and then I have this golden opportunity of these pros, like to use those connections and have them play with me. They are so valuable. I mean, I know my values. I do sponsorships and activations and stuff. So they're 5, 10 times, 100 times larger than my profile. To get them to have them trust me and understand and want to work with me, we're just in such a great position to be successful and get premier people involved, and not even to have to pay for them, just because they love to support what we're doing and what we're building. So yeah, I took what opportunity that was being taken advantage of. Quite frankly, before it was open scrims, it was called something else, and I refused to give those guys any credit. So before I decided to rebrand the entire open scrims. This is all my idea. I built the open scrims, and then I said, yo, man, we can do production. I worked with a couple of my boys. We built a little team, and then we expanded. I actually acquired another up and coming, very small remote team. I brought them in, and that was the best decision of my life, was just expanding our team just a little bit more. And instead of like looking at people as competitors, I think first, how do I acquisition? I think first, like, I don't even want to compete with you. Like, you know what you're doing? Get on my team. Period.
Dude,
like,
that's the way, dude. Especially when it's smaller, right?
Yeah, and that's how we grew. So now I have like a tight 7 to 10 man team, and we're good. We're good at what we do. And a big part of it, one of the best parts of it, is I never have to worry about talent, because I'm like, what do you need done? Right? I fill so many hats and roles within this space.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you number one, dude, put people around that can, you can't do everything yourself. You got to learn that really quickly. It sounds like you learned it really quickly. And it's funny that you said the thing about the open scrims thing, because I thought when Zay told me about it, I was like,
yeah, well, I wasn't happy. Mind you, right?
Really
so I was brought in late. Yeah, I was brought in late, and I'm like, yeah, so what are these? What's this partner that we got? What are they bringing to the table? Nothing. Like, do you understand value? Do you understand reach? Like, what do you mean nothing? We don't have anything. They said what? Where's the paperwork? Nope, doesn't exist. I was like, I was fuming. I was like, no, we're not doing that. So I started, man, I'm a savage when it comes down to the business side of it. I don't hold my tongue. I know value. I've been doing it for so long, and I'm not afraid to just be like, hey, man, not every partnership, not every deal is going to be what I want to pursue. It's go big or go home, hit my quality levels, value us at where I believe we're valued, or, someone else will. Keep it moving.
You and I need to talk more.
Absolutely speaking.
For sure. That's dope.
I'm sure you guys like the way that sounds, right? Sometimes you just got to say it, bro, and don't worry about what comes after, because as long as you're respectful, everyone has to respect someone who is willing to stand on their value, period.
Yeah, and some people won't, and who cares about them? You know what I mean?
And those are the guys, those are the scums that want to steal, and you're not going to steal from me, man. Sorry.
Love that so much. Yeah. Well, guess what time it is? It's game time. Really quickly though, sub to the YouTube channel. Make a Chain Action Podcast. Thank you. Follow the channel if you don't. But PM's got the game, even though I retired him last week. He is back because evidently my game was too hard. So now we're back. PM, what do you got for us?
Just waiting for my chance.
I got boomer versus zoomer terms.
Yay! So what do we do?
So we're gonna go through 13 terms here. Okay. I'm gonna give you multiple choices on each one. You're gonna tell me which one's correct. All right. They're pretty short terms. Don't spend too much time thinking about it. So, are we ready?
Sir.
Last thing, Javier, you go first. You're the guest.
Okay,
the first guest. So
you go first, and then as we go, whoever is leading, I will have them go last, just to kind of get people to catch up. So, okay. First one, the term is bet.
That's a boomer term.
Is it challenging somebody, asking for money, or a synonym for yes or okay?
A synonym for yes or okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say the same.
That was an easy one to start off with that. That's correct. Okay.
I see the game.
Yeah. Number 2, caught a fade. Okay. Is it getting your ass beat, getting a haircut, or losing badly in a game?
I mean, what?
Do I go first here?
Yes. Yeah, you go first.
Oh,
yeah.
that's getting your ass beat for sure. Where I'm from, you caught a fade. I'm sorry. You done got your ass whipped.
I mean, he knows. It's at the point, like, it's almost as if, like, we got to yell it as fast as we can or something. See who's first. That might be the best because there's 3 of us and there's only 3 options. You know what I mean? Okay. But that said, I'm gonna go against him and say that basically losing in a game. I think it's game related. I don't know why. Because we had the podcast. I think you specifically mean that. Yeah.
No, it definitely means beating that ass. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, it definitely means getting your ass beat.
Yeah.
I'm from Washington. I don't know. You guys are from New York.
I'm from Washington.
Trevor, you are now going to go first since you are losing. Number 3, the Visco girl. Is it A, someone that over edits their photos? B, a woman-only gaming organization? C, a new K-pop group?
The first one, over editing.
Okay. Everyone else?
Agreed. Over editing.
Agreed. Over editing. Although I thought it was something else, but okay.
He's gonna go with that.
You all got them right. So Trevor, you're still gonna go first. Okay.
All right.
Bonus. What did Javier think it was?
No. So like, I thought Visco was like a TikTok girl that had scrunchies on it. Like, I have an 11-year-old and 11-year-old little sister. So like, they're all about this thing.
They're all about being.
It's kids. This is what the Visco girl.
It's hard to understand. Everyone's like, I'm a Visco girl. Like for Halloween, you're like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know what that means.
I know what Visco is.
Outstanding.
Number 4, Finsta.
Does Trevor go first again?
Yes. A fake Instagram with weird letters and numbers like a bot Instagram. B, a second secret Instagram. Or C, when you constantly lie on your Instagram.
Okay, these are getting harder. I think it's C, when you always lie on your Instagram. That's a guess. Okay. That's a straight up guess.
Paul, do you want to go? Because I feel like MonsterDface already knows this, so I'm just gonna go ahead.
I don't. I actually don't at all.
I'm gonna say that it's. I feel like I'm around. I don't know, like parents dealing with this enough. So I think it's a fake Instagram. I think it's a second fake Instagram.
Okay. I concur. I think it's a second like fake Insta, like a second profile or something.
Yes,
I haven't heard that one.
Second secret Instagram that you do post. Usually when you're like 18.
Yeah, you usually don't want your parents to know about
it. Yes,
I actually heard it from a parent once. I can't remember like who I was. It was like one of my friends who like has like a teenager, and they're like, "Yeah, well, you know, I told them they can't have an Instagram, but I'm pretty sure they have a Finstagram." And I'm like, "The frick? What is that? What is this new social media?"
That makes sense now. No, now I'm thinking, dude, if it existed in 07, like we would have definitely had one.
Yeah,
yeah, from parties and stuff for sure.
The next one, John. Is it jean shorts? Refers to literally anything, or an attractive person.
I think it's an attractive person.
Trevor, you go first. Okay.
I think it's an attractive person.
I'm going to say literally anything.
Okay. An attractive person.
Okay, so Paul has the lead. It is literally means anything. It is
what?
You know?
Okay. John. What?
Dude, check out these Johns.
So
there's 2 of those. Those are both right answers.
It's not fair. He's got a first grade teacher wife. This is
but
first graders weren't hip.
In New York, if a female calls someone a John, like you're saying, or vice versa, you're saying, damn, that person look good.
So New York City.
Yeah, but you can also say that John over there, like it literally means anything. So
I think it's
anything.
That's why
technically it's a trick question because
it's a trick question. I saw
it's technically a trick question because it should be B because it's everything. So yes.
The only reason I know, and not to belabor this, the only reason I know that John means anything is because I follow and am good buddies with iPod King Carter, and he every post. Yeah, future guest of the pod. He'll put up anything on Instagram. He'll like holding a pair of shoes, like just got these Johns today, and then it'll be like a keyboard, like just got this John, and I'm like, what is it?
Hey,
everything's a John.
Yeah, it's JWN.
JWN.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Hop off. Okay, hop off. Is it getting offline? Is it mind your own business, or is it when you leave a phone call? This is slang term. Think of it. Don't think of it literally. This is in the slang term.
I'm so far behind that I'm gonna go first for the rest of this game. I think it's like, dude, just drop. Like, leave me alone.
Okay.
Leave me alone. Yeah. Mind your own business.
What are my options again?
They are getting offline, mind your own business, and leaving a phone call.
I'm gonna say mind your own business as well. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mind your own business.
It is in fact mind your own business.
And hop off. Okay. You're right. Okay.
Next
That's
one.
how I say that.
We'll go through this quickly. Simp.
Oh gosh.
Is it
terrifying?
a male who is willing to do anything to get someone to fall in love with them? A small, undersized PIMP? Or Twitch chat?
I mean, it's technically Twitch chat, but like, it's the first one.
I want it to be B so bad. No, it should be B. It should be. What is that?
It should be.
It's A.
Very niche.
Very small.
Everyone's going A. Everyone's going first one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just kind of wanted to throw a shot at Twitch chat there.
Yeah, heck you, Twitch chat.
All right, next one. I'm gonna try my best to say this. I will spell it out after. It's something like that. SK. Okay.
That's the Visco girls do that.
Is it okay? Well, is it an acronym for SK? So cool with the K. Is it B, when Visco girls laugh? Or is it C, a bunch of random letters to fill up space on a tweet like ...
It's B.
I'm gonna say B as well. Actually,
It is B.
Okay.
that's how they laugh.
Yeah, it's like, that was one of their weird things, scrunchies.
That's what my sister does all the time.
So silly.
I don't get it.
Alrighty.
Oh my gosh, go ahead.
Next one. SZN.
I
SBN.
hate this
Is
so
it a
much.
K-pop band, a shortened version of Season, or a new gaming org?
Shortened version of season?
Season.
Yeah, season makes the most sense.
Okay.
And it's been pretty much just
You're all
taken
correct.
over by trolls. Trolls use
Really?
it a lot. Yeah.
I
And
don't
like
know.
in
I
their
thought it
name.
was Drake, but I feel like it did.
I thought it was
It did, but
SDN.
it's been co-opted.
Oh yeah, 100%.
This one of my personal favorites, is hashtag #RipBozo in all caps. Okay.
What the?
Is it A, when someone loses an argument, B, when someone's Twitter is suspended, or C, when someone passes away that is not universally liked?
Damn.
Hashtag #RipBozo.
What was the first thing you said?
When someone loses an argument.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's C. I hope it's not C. But
Okay.
okay.
I'm going with A.
Go
Yeah,
with A.
okay.
Now this one's tricky. It is actually, in fact, when someone's Twitter gets suspended.
Oh no way!
Really?
No
You
way.
are when,
What?
when
You're a
trolls.
clown.
So yeah, here's a backup. So like, here's a background. When trolls are arguing with people and your Twitter gets suspended, the people that are arguing with you will say hashtag #RipBozo with the guy smoking a cigar with the screenshot of account suspended. But trying to it's a whole underground troll thing.
Wow.
Went
So
way
yeah,
off.
there's like RipBozo.
Way
Rip
down the
Bozo
meme
Pod.
I know.
hole for me.
There's some stuff that's so
Really big.
deep. There's some
Oh,
very
yeah.
deep stuff where I'm just like, what is happening?
3 more to go. Paul, you're familiar with this one, so we'll go ahead and do it. Ratioed. When you have, so is it A, when you have more followings and followers on Twitter? B, when someone outlikes your tweet? Or C, when someone steals your tweets?
Yeah.
B. That's B.
Okay.
Yeah. When someone outlikes your tweets. Yeah.
You good, Paul?
Yeah. No, that's good. I said it. When someone outlikes your tweets. Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
good.
I'm just making
I
sure you-
re-ratioed her, so don't even start
Yeah,
with me.
okay.
All right.
He got ratioed on his own going live.
I
tweet.
quoted
Just wanna
her
say
quote, and I was like, "Ratio this," and everyone showed up, so I appreciate it.
Lit.
Wait,
next
was
one.
it Jen? Did Jen ratio you?
No, it was Caliverse actually.
Oh, Callie. Oh,
that. Next one. And I oop. With a question mark.
God.
Sorry, exclamation point. And I oop. Okay. Is it A, someone made a mistake? B, something caught you off guard? Or C, you're lobbing up something to someone else in an argument?
Yo, I can't believe you know these. I'm kind of guessing now. This one got hard.
At first, he heard bet and it was like, "Oh, it's gonna be easy."
Right.
I think it's B.
B. Okay.
You get caught off guard.
I'm going C. Like when you lob, like, cause there's more coming. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
C.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna say C too. It feels like there's more. Yeah. Yeah.
So Trevor's right.
Yeah.
It is when you're caught off guard. It is from a meme, or I should say a video, where
Yeah, the
this
video's weird.
yeah, this lady's talking and she goes, and then just like stops, and it became very, very popular. And if you are caught off guard on the tweet,
I didn't know what it was for, but I've seen it. You know, it's one of those ones.
It's one of those.
All right,
Like you're really like making an argument, and then you middle. That line.
so
There's new
Trevor-
information. You're like, wait.
this is the last one here. You are losing. You are gonna lose. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that.
You're gonna lose.
So I'm gonna have you go last.
Okay.
Okay. Sending me. The term is sending me. Okay. Is it you're asking for something? You want someone to come over? Or you're laughing so hard?
Yeah, that sounds like C to me. Yeah, you're sending me over like I can't handle it. Yeah.
I'm down for the C train on this one.
Let's get it.
C's? Trevor, you want to just throw it in there just for the hell of it?
Yeah, why not? I think
C?
it's C.
Yes, it is all C. You guys are all correct.
C. Oh, thank goodness.
But we do have a tie.
You guys,
So-
you guys tied. I'm like 9 behind you.
You guys are both great. No, you're only 2 behind, so you're not that bad.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yo, that was
yeah,
that was a decent game, man. Well
That was
played.
That was
good.
good.
No,
Yeah.
hey, it progressively got harder.
Yeah,
was
really
good.
hard.
I didn't know about this. How
See, the old slang, like I'm good with the old slang. Then we get to that new age TikTok way, like it's my weak point.
Dude, they just took all the thing is they took all the old
It's a new
stuff and then
thing.
like applied it to different stuff, which is
Yeah.
very confusing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
inconsiderate.
I feel like every time I hear like some new trend of like the whole, because I get like, part of me gets like a little angry. Like, stop making new things that don't make sense. It's stupid. Just say ha ha like the rest of us. I don't know. I feel like the old man comes out a little bit.
But hey, you don't remember all the weird stuff you said when you were playing Modern
so many
Warfare,
weird
dude.
things.
Yeah, just like with it,
So
no
many
one understands. Like Ninja got his name from a term in Halo where you ninja'd people, and no one knows what that is now. Like no
Yeah,
one
true.
knows. Like I don't even know. I've been ninja'd probably 1,000 times in my life, and I didn't even know that's what it was called because I wasn't that into it. So
True.
you know, we all got our stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But before we
Very
go, last segment before we take off. And it is our time where we like to give a shout out to people that we call it the side monitor section, but people that we've been watching lately, or even that we watch consistently with some of our favorite streamers that are on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, just people who create content that we've really been enjoying lately. Javier, we'll give you a minute so you can chew on a little bit, or maybe you get it fast. But I will go first. I will give my shout out and send it over to Paul, and we'll go from there. I have shouted out this person once before. I need to shout them out again because I feel like Cyberpunk coming out this week was actually a huge event for them, and they were just killing it on the launch yesterday and also today. Co-Carnage is we were talking about variety streaming earlier. He's one of the best in the planet at being a variety streamer, one of the most organized, like runs his channel like a business. But he is in the game Cyberpunk. He gets to see himself in a game, which is super cool. But also he's just like, he's built this hype up to this game and this event so well that he's having his record viewership, and I'm just happy as hell for him because it's super cool, and it's like a game that was like made for him. He's just like, it's everything I love, right? So I was just like, I watched for like 3 hours yesterday, and just seeing how like everything was so surprising and cool. Like he was just so happy everything he saw that I was like, this guy's getting a shout out on the pod. Literally dozens of people are gonna hear this. So
Yeah, that's fire.
Oh yeah.
I got someone. I can follow up. Since we're talking about quality people, I want to shout out Vaname Soul. What he does is he actually takes vans and he draws anime characters on it. He is so good with blending colors, and he does something very unique in the space. His business is booming, so booming to the fact his commissions are usually closed, but Vaname Soul, man, if you guys want to watch something or check out just some real unique content. I mean, I love art. I'm into that kind of stuff, and that's the type of content I like to digest.
That's awesome. He live streams it while he creates them.
Sometimes he does. Yes, sir.
That's so sick.
that is dope.
Vaname Soul and VANIME. Vaname?
Vaname show.
Okay,
And
cool.
most important, like Instagram is his spot where most of his clientele comes through, because it's just photos, right? It's the perfect platform for him.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, very cool. Okay. All right, my side monitor guy is something WoW related, because WoW is really near and dear to me right now.
Yes,
Shadowlands is fantastic. And it's actually someone I just found on YouTube while looking up like how to do everything that's happening in the game. I don't know how to do anything. And that is Dratnos is his name. He is a World of Warcraft streamer. I've only seen him play World of Warcraft, so he's like one of those. He's dedicated, but he has a really good community around him that supports him. Whenever I play WoW, people make fun of me, call me a nerd, even though somehow we're all on Twitch. Everyone's a nerd, but that's fine. Dratnos he's super popular. He's really doing a good job, and he has really good in-depth reviews. He'll put out a review like right when the mechanic, it seems, comes out, so he's really on top of that. Similar to Co, runs it a lot like a business, but just very easy to just kind of listen to. He's got a very nice voice. He just explains things well. So if you're looking to get some information about how to do what you're doing in World of Warcraft, Dratnos, Dratnos. Same on Twitch, same on Twitter. Really good brand recognition across the board. Dratnos is my pick this week.
Dope.
Yeah,
that is a wide variety right there. Nice. I love that.
We hit all of the spots. Yeah, that was great.
We did. We got them all. We got them all.
Before we go we want to know from you, Javier, what do you have that you want to give a specific shout out? Obviously, you have a lot of different things going on, but is there anything that you're particularly excited about? Is there any event or stream or merch?
This is your time.
Like, what do you
20 minutes if you need. Just go for it.
No, like seriously, like obviously at MonsterDface on all social medias, the website MonsterDface.com just be the easiest place to keep up with everything at once if you really just want to see what's kind of shaking up. But I mean, I want to give a shout out to this charity event that I'm prepping. It's the most multi-layered production event that I've put together. It's happening on the 14th. We're trying to raise for cure rare disease. We already have 30,000 committed. Shout out to all the sponsors, organizations, and the Fortnite scene behind the scenes that have really have been receptive to my message and what I'm trying to do. It's the first time I've ever leveraged my social media in conjunction with the Fortnite community. Like, because again, over the years I've grown, I've only been able to really step up. And with this extra reach, I'm happy to be able to do something special like what I'm doing right now with Cure Rare Disease and our charity tournament happening on the 14th of December for those of you late listeners. So yeah, thanks for having us. And it's the month of giving and all that good stuff. So we'll end it on a holiday note, right? There you have it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I love that. Happy Hanukkah, everybody. By the way, happy first night of Hanukkah.
Birthday. Yeah.
You're listening. It's very exciting. Before we go, we're gonna give a quick shout out to our review of the week, which comes from Sauce Sloan.
Yep,
which is
two good names in a row.
A hell of a name. Sauce Sloan is just
Sauce Sloan.
Chef's kiss. They said, as someone that wants to be a streamer and will be starting soon, this show kept me inspired, and I've learned so much, in all caps. The laughs, the banter, and all around good vibe of the show is amazing. Keep inspiring and keep being you guys the best podcast. Thank you, Sauce Sloan, for those very kind words. That was fantastic. If you guys are listening anywhere, whether it's on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave a review if you can and leave a rating. We appreciate 5 stars. You can hit 4, but just make sure you hit the last star after that, after you hit 4. This is the May Contain Action podcast you've been listening to. You can find us on all major social medias at May Contain Pod. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, not TikTok, because we haven't figured out how to capture PM dancing yet. As soon as we do, we get those TikToks up there. He's going to be freaking hitting it. You know what I'm saying? As soon as we get up there. MonsterDface, thank you so much for being a part of it. Javier, it was an absolute pleasure, dude. You're an awesome dude to talk to. It was great.
So, thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys
for coming. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for being here for quite a while as we figured out those cameras and everything too. So thank you, man.
Oh my God.
All right, guys, take it easy. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Later, guys.